Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's another All Boo Max video, and you might be wondering why I'm looking at a Powerbook G4. Well, I don't know exactly, but I kind of do. So, about 7 years ago, I made a video about a Powerbook G4 Titanium. This is a Powerbook G4 Titanium. This is not the one that I had 7 years ago. That one is long gone. I honestly have no idea what I ended up doing with it. I think I ended up probably selling it at some point, but I got this one a while back. Got a really good deal on it actually. Probably I got this one about a year ago, and or maybe a little less than a year ago. I saw it on Craigslist for $20, so obviously I ended up picking it up for $20. You don't really find titanium power books for that cheap. Usually the going price around for them is anywhere from if you're looking on eBay, it's probably around like $80 to $100 for a working one. Other places a little bit cheaper. It just really depends on the seller. Of course, you can get them cheap. Like I got this one for $20 from some guy, and I figured 7 years ago I did a video on it, and that's one of the videos that is most viewed on my channel is the titanium power book that I did a while back. So I figured might as well kind of do a 7 years later type on another one. And this one, obviously, this one has a little bit different specs. I believe the one that I had before was a 400 or 500 megahertz power PC G4 titanium, and I'm not sure on all the specs on it. I have to go back to the video to even remember what it was about, but this one's in a lot better condition, I would say, for the most part. On the other one, the white had basically peeled off on this edge right here. And over here you can see a little bit, and that's just a common problem with the titanium power books. It's I think it has something to do because the paint just does not stay on with the titanium, and then with the titanium the paint comes off. The titanium's disgusting. It's like a blackish color, so it's not really a very good color. Doesn't really support the paint that well, but whatever. This one's a 800 megahertz power PC G4 in there, and it's got a slot loading combo drive, and it's got a latch, but the latch doesn't work. But I mean, it's so weighted down that it pretty much stays down for the most part. So on the sides here you got pretty much nothing other than a vent and a Kensington lock. And then on the back here, so this is where the ports are going to be a little bit different versus the other one I had. I'm not sure exactly. I think the only thing that was different is the other one was VGA versus this has a DVI port. And you got FireWire 400, USB 1.0s, DVI, like I said, S-video out, microphone in, headphone out, I believe, and then a dial-up modem and Ethernet port, which it's currently hooked up to because the Wi-Fi card in it's older. It's a wireless B, so unless I have settings to go into my router, I can't use the Wi-Fi on it. Then you got a PC card slot, so you can put a little extra stuff, add an extra USB card or FireWire card, or even a Wi-Fi card if you wanted to. You got headphone jack, so I think this is headphone. And then back here is the microphone, and then just nothing really on the side. And I've always liked how the Powerbook looked. I think I explained it, and the other one is it was really a game changer when Apple switched over to this design, because this is kind of what shaped everything from this point on, is where they went kind of silverish kind of color line, and they haven't really switched since from that. Obviously the shape and design of them have gotten thinner and a lot different on that, but this one I believe, this was what they were looking for and going forward with them on that. Because the Powerbook G3 was a whole different story. That looked more of like it kind of had a look of a clamshell. Obviously not the exact same shape, but it was like thick like one, and it was more like a professional look. I mean, this is, I guess, would be professional too, but it was more, black type. You could see it like kind of with the standard of all the other laptops that were coming out, like the IBMs and stuff like that. But this one was definitely a different step for Apple, obviously in the right direction, because they kind of went with this. But on the inside here, you got a 15-inch screen, which is pretty nice. It holds up very well for being from 2001, I believe. And then you have a keyboard, like all the other keyboards. It peels off, and you can get access to RAM. The airport card, I don't believe you can even access it through here. I don't see it anywhere, to be honest, so I'm not sure exactly where that's hiding. That's another thing with a lot of PowerBooks too, especially the G4 models. Some of them, they're different variants. Like, they all look the same, but like a lot of the internals are a little bit set up differently. So I think some of them actually have like where you can get into the physical like airport card and pull it out. And I'm not sure exactly where this one is on this machine. But you got your RAM, got the DVD drive, and I believe hard drive is probably down here. So the airport card has to be somewhere in this area. But everything does work as it should, for the most part. We'll go ahead and turn it on. And unfortunately, this doesn't run OS 9. It runs 10.4.11, which is not bad. It's alright, but I prefer to have 9.2 on this machine, which, you can put 9 on it. You can dual boot it, which is not a problem. I just don't have the OS 9 disc, and I don't have a machine right now to burn me a copy to where I can get it on there, so I'm stuck with 4.11. Which, like I said, it's not bad, but it's not like... I feel like this machine needs to be at least like running 9.2. It's more suiting for it. But, it's pretty quick for the most part. That's usually how all older Apple stuff is. It's pretty quick to the starting gates, I guess you'd say. So we'll go into about this Mac here. So as you can see, 10.4.11, it's an 800 megahertz PowerPoint G4, 512 megabytes of RAM. It's upgradable, of course, to a whopping 1 gigabyte of RAM. And I believe the hard drive's a decent size too. Yeah, so it's about so this is actually the funny part about it. So this has a 120 gigabyte hard drive in it. The other one that I had like a 10 gigabyte hard drive in it, but it was listed when I bought it as 120, I believe. And so now I actually have one that has a 120 gigabyte hard drive in it. So that's more than enough space to do anything that I'd actually want to do on this. And as you can see, there's nothing really on it. I have a FireWire drive somewhere that I need to pull out. It has a bunch of my games and stuff on it I need to put on this computer. And of course, if you don't already know, Mac Repository is a great source to get old games, not just for this era of Mac, but all the way back to like somebody using the Mac Classic or the Macintosh Plus, the old OS 7 games and 6 games and stuff like that, all the way up till probably like around this 10.4 era. Type 2004, 2005-ish type games. So probably spans from 80s to like 2005. So it's a ton of stuff on there. And excluding games, it has like a bunch of applications and stuff and all that. And it's definitely worth because you can download games, but if you're not a member, I think it caps the amount like on how much you can download at once, so it's definitely worth paying a $10 donation to get. I believe it's like an unlimited cap. You can download pretty much as you want. But I don't work for them or anything. I'm not like trying to advertise for them. It's definitely one of the only and one of the best websites to use for that. But recommendations, obviously, for web browsing, if you would want to do web browsing on this 10.4 Fox. It's I believe the only browser right now that is currently updated or up to date currently on, or is they actually update it currently, get out updates for it, and it's the only one that's really I would recommend. All other ones have has ceased existence for support. So I believe 10.4 Fox is the only one left. And they're pretty good too. They want to keep PowerPC as alive as possible. Of course, it's to say even alive is like a stupid statement because, most of these computers are, unless you have a G5 freaking Power Mac, and at that point there's no point even having one of those, like, because those things are like just suck power like anything, and they are just a beast. But as you can see, YouTube's trying to open up. I'm not gonna even begin to like start with that. If I can, I don't know why it's like trying to load YouTube right now. I'm just gonna try to get to Google or something, get it out of here. Whoa. Quick note, don't try YouTube on this thing. I don't even know why it's like trying to come up to YouTube. It's on my channel, but if it didn't get, oh my god, it's loading a video. It's loading the Powerbook G4 Titanium video. That's funny, but let's see if I can just close out of this. If it will. YouTube will literally fuck this thing up like to no end. Quit. Get out of here. Yeah, so YouTube is definitely a no-go on it. At one point, so with 10.4 Fox, there was a way to actually watch YouTube on older machines like this. As well as it could honestly be. It's going to be 240p, so it's going to be very terrible quality, but the videos would run through setting 10.4 Fox to use Classilla 9, which would load through mobile websites, and then it would use YouTube or use QuickTime to play YouTube videos. And that was working like a couple months or at least 6 months ago when I tried it, but now it doesn't even work, which is unfortunate because that was like literally one of the only ways to get a YouTube video to really run. And through the website itself, it will run. I wouldn't recommend watching any videos that are like high quality, like natively, like anything above like 360p, because it'll just take forever to load. Anything that's like around 240p will load in its own time, but at that point it's not worth it. Not worth it anymore, at least. Go to iTunes here real quick. And iTunes was, I don't know if it's this version or it was in a version at one point, let's see, 12.8.1. And that's not even the newest version of iTunes, I don't believe. Or maybe it is, I'm not sure. I haven't used iTunes in a while. But the radio did used to work on the older iTunes. I think it can be updated to a newer one. I'm not completely sure. But yeah, this computer's not too bad. It's definitely good for like just doing some light word processing, stuff like that. You know, you can get Office, and you can get a relatively new version of OpenOffice on it, I believe, if you wanted to get something like close to being like modern. And you know, all the old offices work great anyways. I mean, I don't really see the point of updating Office anyways if you have something that works, because most of the time the Word documents will transfer over to a newer version of Office anyways, so there's really no point to even try to get a new Office suite on a computer like this. So using old stuff like old Office, this is like Microsoft 2004, I believe, or Microsoft Office 2004, something like that. Obviously old, but still gets the job done. So as you can see, battery life is at 100, but the battery is pretty poor, unfortunately. It lasts maybe 20 minutes if I take it off the charger. So unfortunately, nothing. You're not going to be doing any portable work on here. You're going to have to be stuck to a power cord. And I could get another battery, but I don't even know what it's connecting to right now. It's connecting to some weird Wi-Fi that doesn't work. But that's another issue that you're going to run into these is that they don't use the newer Airport Extreme. Well, it's not even new now, but it's the newer versions. So you'd find them on iBook G4s and the newer Powerbook G4s after the Titanium. They use that Airport, and that connects, I believe, perfectly to any kind of Wi-Fi. It's just with the older 802.11b, you're going to be having to set your Wi-Fi settings if you have access like to the preferences on whatever company you're using. Well, unfortunately with mine, I'm in a college apartment, so I don't have like the access to the actual like company website or anything to actually go in there and fix it to where I can get this thing on Wi-Fi. So I'm stuck using an Ethernet cord, which is probably the better option anyways when using something this old. Other than that, I mean, there's nothing really too much to say on it. I kind of just wanted to throw this out here. I mean, it's been 7 years since I've done the other Powerbook G4 video, and figured it's about time to throw another one up there and see what happens. And updates on pretty much me getting some videos, because I've noticed for me, I mean, I don't really have that many like subscribers. Like I have like 300 something subscribers, and you know, people watch my videos every now and then. I'll get comments and stuff, which is really cool to even see. Because way back when I was doing these, you know, I was actually getting like comments regularly on a lot of stuff, and that's when I used to upload like every like week, at least like once or twice a week. Now it's like once or twice like every couple months. You know, I try to get back into it, but it's just so hard to like get the actual like stuff I need to do it. But you know, I'm trying my best to get some videos out. I've seen some people like the especially my Sony Vaio video I did about a year ago. That video is pretty popular. A lot of people comment on that, and I'm thinking like my next one will probably be something doing a restore with a machine on something with Windows 2000 or Windows 98. I don't know, it just depends. I have to get a machine to do that with, so which at a thrift shop I'm looking at, there's an older HP that runs Windows ME, so I might do a restore on that. I have to go pick it up though. If it's still there, it might not even be there still, but you know, there's a couple projects in the works. So with that said, I'm gonna leave you to it, and hope you guys enjoyed this probably not very informative video, but you know, just a little update to show you that I still do somewhat stuff, I guess. And with that, I'll see you guys later, and stay tuned for whatever next I have uploaded. Hopefully quicker than just gonna be hopefully soon rather than later. Peace.